Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. With the Mage Shower released this week, it's fair to say my sleep schedule is absolutely obliterated. And some of these fights are tougher than I remember, but it's been super fun and enjoyable tackling some hard content, earning the different words like transmog for rogues, warriors, priest, hunter, as well as the new form for the bear. Currently, the only challenge I haven't seen is the healer challenge, which I'm not sure if I should do as a holy paladin or as a mistweaver monk. But with the holiday season coming up, some of you might be going places and won't be at your computers in order to be able to finish up the Mage Tower challenge, which is going to be available for only the first 2 weeks. Well, we got some good news. The Mage Tower is being extended, so hopefully many of you over your holiday break will be able to get a couple more attempts at finally defeating some of the bosses. And to everybody asking for the Mage Tower nerfs, it looks like some nerfs are on the way, and some have even already been implemented. Let's take a look at some of these updates coming to the Mage Tower in patch 9.15 Legion Time Walking. But before that, most of you guys watching these videos are not subscribed, and the more of you ask, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel as well as hit the bell in order to get all the regular World of Warcraft updates, as well as things like patch 9.2 development patch, future expansion updates, and more. The Mage Tower has been a blast, but with the holidays coming up very soon, you might find yourself with less time to be able to tackle some of these fights that you're yet to finish up. Well, the Mage Tower is being extended by 2 extra weeks, ending on the January 22nd. Hopefully this will give many of you more attempts at some of the other bosses and some of the other fights, whether you're working towards the mount or just trying to get your class transmog. This extension is fantastic for players that are still looking to finish some of the fights, though some players have asked why isn't the Mage Tower available year-round. Same players have argued that time walking should be available at all times for players to engage with our content anytime they want to, instead of during certain parts of the month. It's an interesting idea and I want to pass off to you guys in the comments. Do you think the Mage Tower should be available at all times, or do you think it's fine that it's available for a limited amount of time, only during Legion time walking? The Mage Tower is receiving some nerfs this week. Some of these nerfs are already on live, and some are going to be put online at a later time. Blizzard is continuing to monitor the rate of success the players are having in various challenges as variety of different specs. And more nerfs could be planned in the future if that success rate is way too low. First things first, the end of the Risen Threat encounter, which is available for all healers in the game minus the Disc Priest. All the healers are going to notice that the corrupted Risen Mages will now wait a little longer before they start casting spells. Every time they cast Arcane Blitz, the damage buff that they gain is going to be slightly weaker. And for every stack, the cast of Arcane Blitz is going to be longer and longer by half a second. The duration of the buff has been increased by 1 second just to compensate for this casting change. It should also be easy to tell how many stacks these Risen Mages have of the Arcane Blitz, as the models themselves will grow a little taller and become redder the more stacks they accumulate. This overall is a pretty big nerf to the mages themselves in the part 1 of the healer challenge, making them a lot less scary of an enemy, though they still can burst down your party, but there will be less of a nuisance, especially in the first part, which can be very hectic. If you're doing this fight as a Holy Priest, the Risen Mage's health has also been reduced by 10%, as well as the corrupted Risen Soldier's Knife Dance ability has also been nerfed by 10%. Many priests have complained that the fight for them in particular is extra difficult when it comes to comparing against classes like Holy Paladins, for example. The damage that goes out, but also the damage that Holy Priests can deal in that fight can be very brutal. When doing the healer challenge as a Restoration Shaman, corrupted Risen Soldier's damage is reduced by 10% flat. The soldier's Knife Dance ability damage has also been reduced by 10% on top of it. And corrupted Risen Mage's damage overall has also been reduced by 10%. Just like Holy, Restoration Shaman has been in a bit of a sore spot when it comes to trying to tackle the healer challenge. The Xylem fight has also got nerfed, where the Comet Storm will now wait 3 seconds before damaging players instead of 2. When Xylem stuns you and teleports away, he'll encase you in a wall of Razor Ice. This change will make it easier for players to escape this wall of ice before dying to Comet Storm. If you're doing the Xylem fight as a Frost Death Knight, the Archmage Xylem's Corrupting Shadows health has been reduced by 3%, and Xylem's Razor Ice health has also been reduced by 10%, making it easier to crack through the ice wall. If you're doing the Xylem fight as a Havoc Demon Hunter, you also saw some nerfs. Xylem's Arcane Barrage and Frostbolt damage has been reduced by 5%, and Comet Storm damage has been reduced by 14%. out of all the specs that are having the hardest time with the Xylem challenge, I've heard that Frost Death Knights and Havoc Demon Hunters are not having the best of time. Finally, if you're a Blood Death Knight doing the tank challenge, Cruel's health has been reduced by 10%. As a Guardian Druid doing the tank challenge, Cruel's health also got reduced by 10%, Nether Horror's health also reduced by 10, and Nether Horror's has now movement and melee combat interrupts, which means that the mobs will stand still while casting the spell that will channel heavy AoE damage for the Druid, which will make it easier for the Druid to get away from the mobs or disrupt them with AoE. As a Protection Paladin, Cruel's health got reduced by 10% as well. Tormenting Eye health has been reduced by 10%, and Smoldering Infernals now cast Smash every 6 seconds instead of 5. The Guardian Druid, Blood DK, and Prot Paladin are the 3 specs that I've heard that are struggling the most inside of the tank challenge, so hopefully the health nerfs will allow players to get a little bit closer at defeating the boss. Like I mentioned earlier, they're still monitoring the success rates of the different specs inside of the respective challenges, and potentially we could see more nerfs in the future. Let me know in the comments, is there any spec in the game that's struggling with their challenge that should probably see some nerfs going forward? The Mage Tower isn't the only thing that's getting nerfed. As players are trying different combinations of time walking gear and gear with sockets and variety of different enchants and trinkets to try to bypass certain challenges, some of these items that players are using are receiving some pretty big nerfs. Things like the Crusader enchant will only give you 46 strength instead of 100, and its healing has been greatly reduced. The trinket of Endless Tincture of Renewed Combat, for example, is a trinket that gives you healing every time you slay an enemy that yields honor or experience. The healing from the trinket brought down from 1600 to 330, which still makes it a strong trinket from my testing in the Guardian Mage Tower, but it's definitely been heavily reduced. They've even announced more updates going forward, more adjustments and bug fixes to certain enchants or even gems like those in the Burning Crusade heroic dungeons, and maybe even trinkets that come from Legion time walking in order to scale them down inside of the Mage Tower challenge. One of the biggest complaints I've heard about the Mage Tower is players feeling like they have to go back to old content like Burning Crusade heroic dungeons, Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic, and various different older raid instances that may have trinkets or items that scale well inside of the Mage Tower and may give players a little bit of that advantage inside of some of these challenges. And this is purely my opinion from this point on, but I think some of these nerfs upcoming to some of these scalable items are on purpose for those players that don't want to feel like they have to go back to older content. By nerfing and adjusting some of these older items, you're giving players less of a reason to need to do some of the older content in order to feel like you have a slight advantage inside of the Mage Tower. But you have players that are unhappy that they have to go back to older content, but you also have players that are unhappy that they're seeing items getting nerfed that may make the Mage Tower a little bit easier. Safe to say that the community is pretty split on this decision. We'll see how that'll work out in the next few days as we get to the Tuesday-Wednesday reset for the regions of NA and EU. But for now, this is all the changes that are happening or has already happened to the Mage Tower already. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. And let me know in the comments below what do you think about all these updates. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below which specs do you think need some help inside of the Mage Tower challenges that should probably see some nerfs for some of the different fights they encounter. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in the next one.